Hello, today we are doing some equations review. That's the title, equations review. Okay, so first some relatively basic equations. The biggest thing here is just making sure you pay attention to the details and don't make little mistakes, like with your negatives and stuff like that. So let's do number 2. Kind of picking these randomly. So then we have negative 128 equals negative 7 times negative 4n, which is a positive 28n, negative 7 times 8 minus 56 minus 4n. Then we can combine like terms, negative 128, 28n minus 4n is 24n minus 56. If we add 56 to both sides, we end up with negative 72, which is equal to 24n. Divide both sides by 24. N equals negative 3. Okay, I'll have you do the rest of 1 through 4 on your own. I'll show you number 5 too. It's just a couple of sets of parentheses to distribute. So 7 times 1 is 7, negative 4m times 7, negative 28m, equals 3m minus 24. If I add 24 to both sides, 24 plus 7 is 31 minus 28m equals 3m. Add 28m to both sides, 31 equals 3m. Sorry, 3m plus 28m is not 3. 3m plus 28m is 31m. Divide both sides by 31, so m equals 1. Okay. Hopefully these are pretty familiar types of equations. Again, the key is just trying not to make mistakes. I was doing some of these yesterday, and in my brain I was convinced 6 times 3 was 24. It's not, it's 18, so just watch for the little mistakes. So now this part might be new or at least less familiar. So here we have equations with lots of fractions. So fractions are, well, not everyone loves them. I find them a little bit fun, but most people don't. So let's do number 8 first of all. So we could find common denominators all the way through, add them, etc. But the shortcut is to find the least common denominator of all the fractions you have. So basically, what is the least common factor? So what number can you multiply by where 6, 3, and 12 are a factor? And in this case, we can multiply by 12 over 1, because 6 times 2 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 times 1 is 12. Okay? So our LCD is 12, so we multiply by 12 over 1. And so now you can do this multiple ways. I would say don't use your calculator because it'll mostly go to decimals and that doesn't help you. But here's what we're going to do. So we'll go from left to right. So we have negative 13 over 6 times 12 over 1, because everything's multiplied by 12 over 1. And then we have our v, plus 8 over 3 times 12 over 1, because everything's multiplied by it, times v, equals 1 over 12 times 12 over 1. Now we simplify. I'm going to show you a trick. You're welcome to multiply across here, for example, with negative 13 over 6 times 12 over 1. If you want to do negative 13 times 12, go for it. I don't. I'm going to show you how I kind of, it's not really cheating. It's using fun little math tricks. So I'm going to look at this. We have negative 13, and then I know that 12 divided by 6, since 12 is on the top, 6 is on the bottom, we can do that. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So this turns into negative 13 times 12 over 6, which is 2b. Plus, same sort of thing here, we have 8 times 12 over 3, which is 4. So we have 8 times 4v equals, this is really like 1 times 12 over 12, which is 1 times 1, which is 1. Keep in mind, any 1s left over, they really don't matter, okay, unless it's the only thing left. So then negative 13 times 2 is negative 26v plus 32v equals 1. Negative 26 plus 32 is 6v equals 1. Divide by 6 on both sides. So v equals 1/6. Here's where I would say any questions. But in this case, if you have any questions, you should email me or come to office hours. Please, please, please. Okay? All right, let's do another. There's a bunch more because these are good for practice. How about, let's do number 10. Okay. So here, our least common denominator, I can look at it and just see it. So keep in mind this n is just n over 1, so that's fine. I can just see it. I know that it is 20, okay? Because I know 2 times 10 is 20, 5 times 4 is 20, 4 times 5 is 20. What will also always work is if you just take 2 times 5 times 4, which would be 40, that will work as well. 20 is just going to make for smaller numbers. But again, you could do 40 and multiply by 40 over 1. You'll end up with the right answer as long as you simplify your fractions at the end. So since we decided on 20, we'll multiply by 20 over 1. So we're multiplying every piece. So let's start with our n over 1 times 20 over 1. Then we have minus, this is kind of watching for the details, don't forget the minus, 3/2 times 20 over 1 plus 4/5 times 20 over 1, and we have our n, equals negative 33 over 4 times 20 over 1. Ugh, it looks so ugly, but now we get to simplify. So essentially, n times 20 is 20. We just have 1s on the bottom. So this is 20n. Minus, we have 3 times 20 over 2. So 3 times 10, which is 30. And again, this 1 on the bottom really makes no difference. Plus, now we have 4 times 20 over 5, which is 4. So 4 times 4, n, equals negative 33 times 20 over 4, which is 5. So we have 20n minus 30 plus 16n equals, let's see, you're welcome to do this over on the side. If you want to use your calculator, you can do that too. I'll show you what I do. I'm going to do it in my head. I'm going to think of it as, okay, 30 times 5 is 150. 3 times 5 is 15. 150 plus 15 is 165, and it's negative. But again, however you get to this is fine. I'd like it if you can try to do these without your calculator. So you could just do 33 times 5 over here if you wanted to, but it's up to you. Okay, so now simplifying, we have 20n plus 16n, so we end up with 36n minus 30 equals negative 165. If we add 30 to both sides, 36n equals negative 135. We divide by 36, n equals negative 135 over 36. Looks like it definitely simplifies. So this is one of those that's honestly a tad tricky. So if we divide by 9 on top and bottom, and this is one where honestly I use my calculator to get to it, just so you know, because I don't know 135 divided by 9 off the top of my head. If you do, that's awesome. So 135 divided by 9 is 15. So we end up with negative 15 divided by 36 over 9, which is 4, and that's as far as we can simplify. Okay, your next task is to finish the rest of this worksheet and complete your ABA. Have a great day.